Kia ora Canterbury and welcome to Canterbury Live on Wednesday, the 23rd of September. Well, the rain is here and it's going to stay for a little bit longer. So if you just drop the cherubs off at school, you will need that brolly for later on. It still will be raining, so pretty cool day to actually call in a favour of someone that could pick up the kids just quietly. But anyway, hey, happening this weekend, I want to share what's happening in your community this weekend. There is a Gypsy extravaganza, so many thanks to Fleetwood Mac for Gypsy, nice way to start the show off with. Now the Gypsy extravaganza is happening down at the Richmond Park on Stanmore Road. Lots of fun for all the family. There's music, a puppet show, hula hoop workshops, there's even a giant kaleidoscope. Skype, you could Skype while you're there maybe. But anyway, it's all happening between Friday and Sunday, so you can't miss out. Righto. Next up, a Dead End Derby presents Revenge of the Nerds Roller Derby happening at the Carl Stadium this Saturday from 6 o'clock. If you've ever seen it, it's a little bit, aggressive in some ways, but very entertaining. It is between the cheerleaders and the nerds. Oh my goodness. Revenge of the Nerds, that's a movie and a half, isn't it? Rightio. Next up though, Mammal, Man in Lycra. He was here last week and he was telling us all about, of course, Blue September, but he is performing currently at the Court Theatre. It has had rave reviews. So if you're looking to head along for some fantastic entertainment, contact Court Theatre. There are still tickets available. His season finishes next Saturday. Very cool indeed. Rightio. Let's get into gifts. Things to give away to you. Let's start with Hoyt's Movies. The wonderful family there have some tickets to head along to the movies for you. Down below, Casanova Productions. Stitched Up is their next production and we have some tickets for Thursday the 1st of October and that is being held at the Heaton Intermediate. Rightio. Next up, do you have a baby in your world or soon to be? You could be the lucky recipient of this wonderful gift pack put together by Purple Patch. Very cool indeed. And last but not least, wonderful painting from beautiful Ira Mitchell-Kirk, Over My Shoulder, could be yours. Now to win any of the prizes we need to enter is to go to our website ctv.co.nz and go to our competition page. Pretty simple, isn't it? Right, a very, very busy show and very entertaining. Rightio. Ange Stone is here with spring fashion tips. As well as that, you could join Ange to go overseas to Melbourne next year for a shopping spree. Sounds good. I did offer my services to carry her bags. Dion Swags is the new host of a new show, Eyes East, that we're featuring on CTV. So I look forward to hearing about all the wonderful work that is happening within our community. And so he leads that team. We had our on occasion with Casabella Interiors and we're talking wallpaper and there is even a bamboo wallpaper. Wow, Mr. John Key. I wonder if we could feed that to the pandas in Wellington Zoo. Heard all about that. The vibrant Jane from Mainland Dating is here. Very funny lady and we're talking of course about dating. What should you do? What shouldn't you do? And all that goes with it. Diane Ramsey brings us in some wonderful luggage from a bygone era. And Phyllis Brown, carrying on our journey of mythology. Today is the Phoenix, what will rise from the ashes. But first up, Suzanne Prentice, just quite a bit of an idol when I was singing. Yes, she was. She has said that my next guest is the next big thing in country music, and that is Mr. Craig Adams. Welcome, Craig. That's pretty cool for Suzanne Prentice to say that about you, isn't it? It
is. She's a wonderful lady and have done a few shows with Suzanne and obviously an icon of New Zealand music, not just country music. So, it's very good that she's made those comments about me. Yeah.
It is good. Well, let's start off and big congratulations.
Thank you.
You've won a pretty prestigious award, Texas Sounds.
Yeah, I went over to Texas, just got back about 3 weeks ago. So we're over there for the Texas Sounds Country Music Awards, got invited to perform over there and there's 15 different countries performing from around the world on the showcase that went for 8 days. I was the only one from New Zealand, the first one from New Zealand to go, so that was a coup, and it was just really exciting to be invited to go along to the show.
So it is by invitation?
It is by invitation.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So, but I managed to pull off the Male Vocalist of the Year award at the show as well, which was the icing on the cake, really. So
that's sensational.
Fantastic. Yeah.
When you actually when you sing, it's a little bit different, but when you're actually speaking, they're like, "Who is this chap?"
Yeah.
What's that all about, the accent?
Yeah.
Were they welcoming to have a New Zealander over there?
Oh, very welcome. The American people, I think it's like New Zealand. I'm a little bit biased because I'm married to a Southlander, but the further south you go, the more...
Oh, she must be a wonderful lady.
She is a wonderful lady. She is a wonderful lady. The further south you go, the more hospitable the people are and the friendlier the people are. But certainly down in the south in Texas, and we went down to Nashville and that, the people were absolutely wonderful to us. And yeah, they liked our accent. You know, I loved their accent. The way they talk in the south was absolutely fantastic, but they loved the way that we spoke and we talked and things. They loved, in my performance was 45-minute set. I did half of it in half of original songs that I'd written myself and half of covers. So I think they really liked the New Zealand story, the connection, my connection to the New Zealand environment, where we live, the country, the high country, rural New Zealand, what it is to be a Kiwi. So I think that really sort of really helped with the overall winning the award. Yeah.
And down south, I mean, they do embrace their country music quite a lot. We've got the Gold Guitar Awards that happens down in Gore, as well as other things. How did you actually get into country music of all the genres you could have picked? But why country?
I love country music. I think I love all music. I think I put that out there first. I mean, it's easy for people to box you into one genre. I love music. I love classical music. I love reggae music. I just love music. I love performance. I went straight from school to work in the wool industry, and I have done all my life in my other jobs. So I've got an affinity with the country, with rural New Zealand. When I went to work in the wool store after work at night, the Maori boys would get the guitars out and the songs would come out, and I just loved that. So then I met my wife when I shifted south, and she's a Southland girl, and of course country music down south. And the first time I got on stage was at a Country Music Awards, and I was fortunate enough to win that award. My legs were shaking so much people thought I was doing an Elvis Presley imitation, but it was because I was so nervous.
Oh, good on you.
So yeah, that's where country music came from, and I guess that's what's inspired me to write. When I'm writing my own material, it's sort of inspired through the New Zealand environment and our country. Yeah.
That's great. You're embracing it. You're heading up to Hokianga, which is exciting.
This weekend, yeah, fly up there on Friday night and performing up there at the Hokianga Country Music Festival for the weekend. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah,
it will be. You're going to perform for us very shortly.
Yes.
Tell us about the song, because it is actually one of your own.
It is, yeah. So I released an album about over 12 months, 18 months ago now. A lot of the material on it is my own that I've written. This particular song that I'm going to sing, I sort of thought about what I'd perform on the show here, whether it be a slow ballad or something a little bit fast. Being Wednesday and hump day and it's raining outside, I thought I'd do something fast and upbeat.
Oh, and we appreciate that too. We appreciate it too. Now, we're very grateful because you've given us 3 CDs here to give away to our viewers. We'll just take a shot of that. Tell us about the CD. Yeah, so
I put the album out about 18 months ago. It was produced by Mike McCarthy in his studio, Manuka Studios in Auckland. 7 of the tracks.
Well, great music has come out of that studio.
Yeah, absolutely. Suzanne's recorded there. So
exactly.
There you go.
Very cool.
7 of the tracks are my own, and the other 4 or 5 are covers. The song that I'm going to sing for you today, I performed at the Wanaka Rodeo, or after the Wanaka Rodeo, the after party, if you like. So it was a pretty wild night, as you can imagine.
Was it just Craig Adams?
I was very well behaved, married with 4 children, but there was lots of cowboys and cowgirls there, and wearing mini skirts and not much else and things like that when we were performing on the stage, and it was
sounds like a Cup Day up here, love.
Very much like Cup Day. Very much like Cup Day. So we went back to the hotel afterwards and we were all amped after the show and everything else. So I got my guitar out and wrote the song. It was called Take Me Home With You. But I can assure you, it's not about me. It's about some of those young cowboys.
You're making it very clear now. Yeah. It's not for children.
My wife's probably
mortgage,
watching the show.
Wife, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, it's cool. Well, I think we better let you speak for yourself or sing for yourself. This is Craig Adams and this is Take Me Home.
Heading to town and I just got paid. 2 days off and I got it made. Pocket full of money and a head full of wild ideas. Sun's down and the moon is up. I found a girl with just my luck. Country honey with blue eyes and blonde hair. Like a bronc in a rodeo. Come on, baby, don't take it slow. Wild horses couldn't shake me loose. The way you move couldn't knock me out. Shake it, baby, scream and shout. Tequila shots really get us in the mood. So won't you shake that pretty body while you're dancing on the floor. Take me on a wild ride, that's what I'm looking for. Girl, you got me going. I know this what I'll do. If you want a good time, baby, take me home with you. Girl, you got the heat turned on. Can't wait for one more song. So hot, I'm blinded by your lights. Bare feet and a mini skirt, long legs and make it work. You got the moves to make me feel alright. So won't you shake that pretty body while you're dancing on the floor? Take me on a wild ride, that's what I'm looking for. Girl, you got me going. I know this what I'll do. If you want a good time, baby, take me home with you. Take me home. Closing time and the lights are low. I ain't got no place to go. Spent all my money on a country honey tonight. Yes, I did. Come on, baby, don't let me down. Take me home and roll me round. We'll make sweet love until the morning light. Oh, won't you shake that pretty body, baby, straight out the door. Come and take me with you, 'cause I can't wait no more. Girl, you got me going. I know this what I'll do. If you want a good time, baby, take me home with you. If you want a good time, baby, take me home with you. I know you want a good time, baby, take me home with you.
Yeah, and that was Craig Adams. Remember, you can win one of his CDs. Very cool indeed. Righto, after the break, Ange Stone is here with me with style fashion tips for spring, and Phyllis Brown will be rising with a phoenix from the ashes, or maybe not, CC.
And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fashion.
And it is that time for fashion. Joining me now is Angela Stone, a fashionista, stylist, and escort for taking you on shopping trips. What's it all about, Angela Stone?
United Travel Ferry Meet and myself have got together and we just dreamed up this idea. Doesn't every woman just love shopping?
Yes,
we do, don't
just
we?
Quietly, but good shopping though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we thought what we'd do is we would head off to Melbourne in March 2016. It's like the ultimate girls shopping trip. And we're going to be there for 5 days, but we're also going to go to like the Melbourne Fashion Week opening evening and get inspired by like all of the
There we go.
Yes, it is.
Ultimate
all
shopping trip.
the fashion that you can actually buy right then and there. So it's like their fashion weeks are very current. And,
Yeah,
a little bit different to us.
differently, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Exactly, and then we'll do some sightseeing, we'll go to beautiful restaurants, but we'll be doing lots of shopping. You know, over 5 days, we're going to do various different types of shopping, from department stores to the outlet stores, to high-end boutiques, to places that you don't even know exist. They don't even have signs. They just have beautiful doors. But I know where they are.
The little knock knock and they let you in.
Absolutely.
My God, that is going to be incredible, because shopping, yeah, I know you just say we love shop, but sometimes it can be quite stressful.
Very stressful. I know, as a personal shopper, and I'm working with clients, you know, every week, taking them shopping. So many people can spend hours, if not days, at the malls trying to look for things, and they're not too sure because they get a little bamboozled by the amount of products that are like in the shops.
Speaking of malls, I know you go to Northlands Mall and you do your style, you know, right in the middle there, style lounge.
Yes.
Is that coming up before the end of the year?
It is late October.
Late October, just in time for Cup Week.
That's exactly right.
So it's perfect timing, isn't it?
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
We're really looking forward to getting back to Northlands.
Yeah, and you've got a great team with you that actually help as well.
Yes, I do.
Because some of us don't have any idea. That's why we need Ange Stone. Right, let's get into it. For spring fashion, I'm very excited about this because there's a lot of colour. So we'll start things off with bold colours, which you look very bold today, my lovely.
Absolutely. This is called Corfu, this colour. And, you know, I teamed it up with a little black jacket. It's got some black panelling through it as well, part of the clothing range. But yeah, bold colours once again.
Let's have a look at some of these images though. They're quite cool. They are very bold, but I love it.
Aren't they sensational? You know, and the colour combinations, I think that's the key. Don't be afraid anymore. Go right out. Who would have thought you put purple and orange together, honestly? But look at it.
Well, the Oompa Loompas had something, didn't they? Really?
Yeah.
We should think back to that. Old Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But they look striking.
Yes. And yellow. Yellow is definitely, you know, that fluoro yellow as well.
Really?
It's going to be big for the season.
Can we see it at Riccarton this year?
Absolutely. In the Fashion in the Field, we'll be looking for, you know, bright, popping, beautiful, outrageous colours.
Great. Patterns, you could say they're outrageous, and I love my Anstone suit.
Yes.
I've got heather grey, it's divine. But this is, you know, getting out there, the patterns, and it's mixing them up.
Yeah, absolutely. And just once again, not being afraid. And, you know, there's a few rules when it comes to pattern. Like the larger the pattern, the larger one looks. And so be very mindful, especially if the bottom half is a lot bigger for you. You probably don't want a big flowery print there, okay?
But duvet cover?
Generally, like prints, they can actually hide a multitude of sins as well. They're very camouflaging.
Ah, we like camouflaging. Flared pants.
Yes.
I'm a little bit scared about flared pants.
Well, you know, it's all in your shoes.
Really?
Yep, absolutely. Don't wear flats unless you've got super duper long legs, but get some heels on and a nice little fitted little crop top, or as you can see here in the little wee picture before, just a nice fitted top tucked into the pant. But big wide flares.
Oh, it's good tips.
Back.
Okay, so flare pants, unless you've got legs like Anstone, we wish, you have to wear heels.
Yes,
okay,
absolutely.
And the top must be fitted, so tucking it in and actually showing off the pants.
Absolutely, and accentuating that little waistline.
Oh, we
but
like that.
flares are big.
Okay, the shirt dress.
Yes, this is one of the ultimate pieces for this season.
Whole boyfriend sort of look about it.
So easy to wear. I love the denim look. You know, that's what I'll be wearing in Europe next week. That's the look.
Ooh, look at her just drop it. When I'm in Europe next week, yes, you will be, Anstone.
You know, like if you want to nip in your waistline as well, just a little wee fine belt is fantastic. But the shirt dress this is the look for spring, summer. It's very easy to wear. Pop it on, and a little pair of loafers in your way.
Love it, love it. Fringes. Ooh.
Yes.
Very bold, very bold.
Absolutely, but you know, right on trend. It is a trend. It's going to be in. It's going to be out, girls. So maybe don't spend a fortune on this style, but pick it up, and you are going to be one of the trendiest ladies to be hitting town.
And even if it's just in your handbag,
sure.
If you're maybe a little bit scared to actually wear a full fringe look, to wear the handbag, cool. Okay, let's quickly. Who is heading to Europe next week? That will be Anstone.
That's right.
You're going to Paris?
I will be in Paris. Yes, LA and London. In Singapore. So, you know, I'm working with United Travel as well. We are planning very big trips for next year. So I have to go and scale the place out, do a bit of a recce. So it's a little bit of R&R, but there is some work that's going to be done.
Good on you, because you've got busy times coming up with Cup Week as well. Have fantastic time. Keep safe.
Yes.
Keep safe, and we look forward to seeing you when you get back.
Thank you.
I'm sure you have some new little items in your wardrobe.
I will.
Anstone, now stay with us. It's all about the Phoenix, or the rising of the Phoenix. And that's some fancy KFC really there, isn't it, Phyllis Brown?
That's amazing. What a beautiful clip.
It is lovely. But you know what? That's my favourite Harry Potter.
Yeah, the
when
very
they
first
were
one.
younger.
Yeah.
It's quite lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it is, as we saw there, the Phoenix.
It is, it is. So we're going to talk about the Phoenix, again in that whole mythology, and it's very much Greek mythology, where these birds were said to exist, and they could live up to 1,400 years old. But they could only live up to 1,400 years old, because a bit like Doctor Who, the old one passed over and the new one came out of the ashes.
Oh, you're speaking my language.
And that's the whole process that they believe, that this eternal soul, this rebirthing process, that's what the Phoenix really represented for them, is it going from the old and coming into the new.
And what's the symbolism with the fire then?
So the fire is the consuming of the old. It's like nothing has to be left, so it's like ashes to ashes, dust to dust. You know, that there's no aspect of the old self or the old process left, and you have to rise from the ashes. You've got to have that platform of freshness, cleanness, just to create something that's absolutely brand new, a new aspect of who you are. And I think Christchurch is actually doing that.
Very much.
We are rising from the sludge and the mud and the bricks and the fallen mortar, and we're having to reinvent ourselves, the bigger picture, as a city, but in an individual process as people, because our values were taken away.
Exactly.
You know, so what we thought was important in our lives, and we went through death experiences in lots of different levels here in Christchurch, and it is that process of, well, who do I become now? What is important to me now? Who do I care about? What do I care about? And so symbolically, the phoenix is just one of those beautiful transformational tools.
When you touched on the earthquake, and after that, a lot of people were looking for something to follow or something to believe in to get them through some very dark times in their life, didn't they?
Absolutely. And I think they really had to dig. There was that fight or flight process, and I know a few people just got into their cars and they just slept in their cars, or they left, they just couldn't stay. Other people who did the whole fight thing, they had to become somebody different. I know I most certainly did become somebody very different.
Yeah, and also, I suppose, taking on the phoenix.
Yeah.
You know, it's taking flight.
It is. It is.
Of a new path.
It's about a new path. And I think for some people, again with the quakes, they wanted to go back. They wanted to go back to where they were. They wanted to reset the clock back to before the quakes. However, as we now know, you can't go back. You have to keep going forward. As painful as that is, or as hard as that is, you have to dig deep and go, well, okay, I can't go back to where I am. What's the new path? And, you know, for us as a family, we had to reinvent our business. We started with nothing. Everything was gone in a blink of an eye. And, you know, we look back now and we think, wow, what has that journey been about? It's been amazing. We've created something amazing out of the fallen bricks and mortar, out of the ashes, something good has come. And I think that's why people use the phoenix. You know, there's lots of sports clubs called the Phoenix socks, the Phoenix this, the Phoenix that. I know I've got the Phoenix Light Foundation as my educational business, where, you know, people can come and get educated in spiritual topics. So, and it is about the flight of the phoenix. Of course, we've got that beautiful movie, The Flight of the Phoenix, out of nothing.
Exactly.
They created something.
It's wonderful. And the rebirth, people, there's a lot of mixed views about if there is an afterlife and if there can be a rebirth. Do you find that people are still questioning that, or?
It's really interesting. It's really interesting. I've had a few moments with clients where they've come to connect with loved ones who've passed over, and it's the loved ones who've passed over who haven't had that belief system. So when they come and they then communicate and connect to their loved ones in the physical form and they're in the spiritual form, they're opened up in that past life, you know, in this other dimensional life. It's like, wow, this is really cool. This is really amazing. But for the people who come to see me, that link to still having a connection with someone or getting evidence, proof of life after death, that is just so important. There are some amazing religious belief systems out there. So we've got Buddhism. I went to a Mormon funeral a few years ago where a young man passed away. They very much believe in the continuation. You're going to be looking down on us, they said to their father who passed over. We know you're going to be watching us. So there is a belief system out there that...
I love to know that. I think that I'll be looking down, or you're looking after
your
loved
children,
ones,
your loved ones.
Your loved
Yeah,
ones.
absolutely.
It's great. Our card for this week.
So the card
Phyllis
is
Brown.
the Phoenix.
Funny enough.
The card is the Phoenix. So rebirth, and sort of think about where you're coming from. What is it you need to look at and just come from at a new angle. Start afresh. Blank sheet and start afresh if you're stuck in your life.
Love it. I love it. I've really enjoyed today. It's been
Thank you.
great. Thank you so much. Look forward to next week. What is next week?
We're doing the Sphinx.
Very exciting indeed. Rightio, we meet after the break the new host of a new program to CTV, Eyes East, Dion Swiggs, and we are out on location with Casa Bella Interiors, and it's all about the wall paper. See you soon.
We don't need no education.
I don't know if you can get a wallpaper that is Pink Floyd, but it's a very good song, Another Brick in the Wall. Rightio, we are heading out on location though with Canterbury Interiors, and today is all about wallpaper. We're back down at Design Made Library. Karen Smith, Canterbury Interiors. This is just insane how beautiful the product we're about to see thanks to Seneca.
Yes, I know, it's so exciting, and they have very innovative and beautiful products. So for example, this one here
This is insane. It's
is
beautiful.
made out of a kind of a foam. It's very good for insulation, for sound insulation, and it's actually made, would you believe, in a ladies' underwear factory.
Oh, we love that.
And it's actually made out of fabrics from a ladies' underwear factory.
So perfect for a boudoir. Boudoir.
So that's really great.
But exciting. I'll have to show the red before we go over there. Look at that. That is just insane. We'll look at it later. Great. What's next? This is
Right, well this one here is really beautiful too.
soulful.
It's made of paper mache. So this is
Really?
actually a work of art.
It is, isn't it? That's exactly what I was going to say. It's
So
not-
it's really, really neat.
so Seneca really have taken wallpaper to another level.
Oh, absolutely. Their brands they import are sought from all around the world. So, for example, this one here is by Alatis, likewise these ones.
Right.
And this is actually made from bark, timber, bamboo, paper mache, and it's all handmade. It's absolutely gorgeous.
And Karen, our dads cannot step in and hang our wallpaper, can they? We need a professional.
Absolutely not.
To all the dads out there, sorry, but it's true.
You do need specialist hangers, and the company that I'd like to recommend is Well Hung, and they've been hanging paper for me for quite a while now. They do a beautiful job, and they're very specialised in the European papers.
Right, well,
Yeah.
this isn't beautiful, but we've got a couple more.
We
so
sure
let's
have.
change that look. Another amazing book. Beautiful, beautiful wallpaper. This is a bit special.
Well, this-
Pasha.
It's called Pasha, and this is actually designed by Osborne and Little, and they started off in the 1960s in London, in the swinging 60s, and their designs are still going.
Wow, the things that their wallpaper see, I'm sure.
So what you've got is an absolutely incredible range here with something for everybody. So there's all sorts of designs.
They're just dramatic, aren't they?
Some are quite patterned and
So
interesting.
do you
and-
find that the feature wall has definitely come back?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because perhaps, or depending on the type of home, you probably wouldn't want that everywhere in your bedroom. But this is the most beautiful collection, and with beautiful metallic as well.
It's gorgeous.
And as I was saying, it's
Seascape.
like there's so many different looks. in
But you know
the
you were
one
saying
book.
about maybe just a feature wall, but it doesn't matter. It's your home. You can do whatever you
Yeah,
want.
you can
and that's
do
the beauty of
whatever
it,
you
isn't
want.
it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And if you had a bit of a partial thing to, I don't know, safari, you could maybe step over. Let's have a look over here. I mean, this one here is just quite incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, this one is actually in this new Pasha collection, and it's what's incredible about it. It's got a metallic background, and that's actually a flocked paper. So feel that, Andrea. It's quite delightful.
And no animals were harmed in the making of this. No.
Which
My
is good.
goodness.
The actual design was inspired by an ocelot, which is a type of a leopard. So it's truly beautiful.
It is, and as you said, definitely a feature within a home as well. Fantastic. Rightio, well, let's do another change. Bring nature with Seneca into our home as well.
Yeah,
This is gorgeous.
This is the new Pasha range, and it's quite incredible. It's a very happy wallpaper. It's
a good
inspired by
word.
nature, and it's got beautiful colours, shapes, butterflies. It's really quite special.
And just the colours though, because it's, I guess with having a base like this, Karen, it lends itself to so many different colours that you can bring into your home.
Absolutely, you can hook into many of these tones.
It's just stunning. Okay, so what's next? This book has Matthew Williamson, who is a fashion designer, has collaborated with Osborne and Little.
Yeah, and he's got some really, really amazing stuff. He's
Again, the bling, I'm loving it.
It's quite a lot of bling.
Dragons. Are you finding people are actually embracing the whole bling in their home though.
Yes, they are.
Rather than being conservative.
Yeah, it's the whole hang a chandelier, have some bling, and it's working really well for a lot of people.
But in saying that,
do
we need
enjoy it.
more Cantabrians actually embracing this, don't we?
Possibly, yeah.
Great.
I'm
So,
encouraging of it.
on the wall here now, is this one of the pieces as well?
Yes, this
Great.
is one
Dragonfly?
of the beautiful dragonfly pieces, and it's so stunning. Once again, metallic, and it's just back to nature. A bit like the last one we looked at was botanical. So there is a little bit of a swing back to nature, which is really fantastic.
And here today though, we've seen Seneca, the amazing designs that they have available, but you can come down to Design Made, but remember that it is for trade. You can just look, don't touch, don't buy, but talk to your interior designer, and that's where Karen Casabella Interiors.
Eyes East, a series about the recovery of Christchurch's eastern flatland suburbs that were so severely hit by the earthquakes of 2010 and 2011. Eyes East, 8:30 p.m. Thursdays on CTV or on demand at rebuildchristchurch.co.nz.
Looking pretty schmicko, Mr. Dion Swiggs. It's all Eyes East. Welcome to Canterbury
Isn't
Live,
it
Dion.
exciting?
And you're a little bit excited.
I
like a
am
little-
excited. I'm really excited. Like you see the grin going.
Yeah, it's huge.
So much work.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, yes, 8:30 p.m. on this channel.
I know, fantastic. Okay, so tease us. Pimp yourself out, my love.
This has been quite a lot of work over the last, I'd say about 6 months of work, you know, from concept to where we are now. And really where it started is the community have so much aspiration for the East and the area that they live in. Christchurch East was the most hardest hit area in the earthquake, well, by the earthquakes of 2010, 2011. And this is just taking all of those community aspirations of people who are working and living there, who have ideas about the amazing stuff, this amazing opportunity that we have, and actually taking those ideas and actually visualising them so that people outside of the area or even within the area who aren't sort of talking in those groups can actually see this and go, wow, man, there are some really cool opportunities here. There's some great people working on these things. And then really what we're trying to do is tie all of those in together to actually look at the whole package. It's not the be-all and end-all answer, but this can actually be like one option or a couple of options. These things might fit into what's going to happen in the long term for the future of East Christchurch. And it's not just looking at the red zone, it's looking at how the schools integrate within the opportunity of the red zone. It looks how New Brighton could recover and that city to sea connection. So from, you know, you do have the red zone, so how does that fit in? Other opportunities such as, you know, the lifestyle out in the East or businesses and what they're doing. And oh, it's just really cool, and you know, we're going to start seeing it tomorrow. Exactly, and it is a lifestyle living out East, isn't it? Well, there are. I mean, the East is so complex. I mean, there's a lifestyle right on the beach that people are talking about in episode 2, I think it is, that we're talking about the coastal New Brighton lifestyle. Episode 3 talks about the water attractions in the East and what potentially we could make. Episode 4 talks about the natural environment. So, what is the natural environment and how environment? That was one of the words I had to get. Oh my gosh, it was my word. Hospital is my word, so don't worry. Take 10 on that word, I tell you what. And then actually looking at that and then bringing it together to talking about the communities and then the schools and all those kind of things, because there has been a lot of change out there and there are still a lot of hurt out there in the area. Actually, sorry, episode 2 talks about sustainable housing and the opportunities for housing in the East. So we'll just bump everything else back one episode. And then episode 7 brings it all together and actually looks at the big picture and tries to sort of visualise exactly what those opportunities are, what does it look like, and how can we move forward with some of these ideas.
Okay, who are some of the key players that we're going to meet?
So we're going to meet some of the people in episode 1. So we right kick off and talk to Leanne Curtis and Brian Parker from Cancern, and they lived in the red zone. So what we've done is we've wanted to get their story about how the earthquakes impacted them from a lifestyle perspective, from their life. And one of the key things that they said was, we sold our home, but we didn't. We sold our house to the government. They were red zone, but we didn't sell our home. So there's still an immense attachment by you know, those 6,000 householders or, you know, families that lived in the red zone, and that immense attachment needs to be treated with some respect, and that's what they kind of say. And then we move into areas, we're going to be talking to the Mayor in episode 7 to try and tie this together. We've got, you know, Evan Smith, who's from Eastern Vision, who's a partner in making the television, this show as well. Peter Beck is involved in talking about different areas and stuff like that, and then key champions from the communities. And we've interviewed probably around 20, actually no, there's more than that, probably about 30 people, key people, about what they're doing in the community.
I'm glad you said that word respect, because I do feel that sometimes some persons in the community can be quite disrespectful of the East area.
Yes.
There's so many red zone areas, and we're seeing a lot of people dropping rubbish and being disrespectful. Yeah. That must be frustrating. It
really is frustrating, and our whole concept of this show has been to take, you know, to be respectful of the area, to be respectful from both the people that lived there, but also the natural environment and also the Ngāi Tahu connection. So we've spoken to Ngāi Tahu about what the area means to them. So we talk about mahinga kai and you know, the food and the opportunities around bringing that back to the cultural values of our city. And if we do get the red zone right, now the red zone is, I believe, probably the key to Christchurch's long-term recovery. You know, we've got a CBD that's in flux and that's rebuilding, but Christchurch's identity could actually be built around this red zone. I mean, it's something that no other city in the world has ever had to deal with.
Yeah, it's exciting times, and we're so grateful that Eyes East has come to Canterbury Television, and that, yay, we're going to see Darren Swiggs, our host, and take us on that path and watching how it's going to grow the eastern suburbs. As well done. Congratulations to you, my friend. Remember, tomorrow night, the first episode will air 8:30 on CTV Eyes East. Very cool. Rightio, do you need some tips on dating? Let's not even go there, actually. Make sure you stay
the
with
last
us.
conversation.
Stay with us, because after the break, it's Jane from Mainland Dating. And Jane Metcalf, that is the problem. First time I ever saw your face, well, we're not even looking for a face, are we? In our dating. Mainland Dating, it's been a long time, Jane.
Yeah, over 9 years that I've been running Mainland Dating. It's absolutely awesome.
It's cool. Yeah. But, I mean, we're joking about it, but there is a problem that we're facing at the moment in the whole dating world.
Yeah.
And it's these stupid phones and apps and things.
Yeah, but it's also other things that come with changing technology. And a couple of examples that I can give is when we go to the supermarket, we can check our own groceries. So that's an example of where society is telling us we don't have to communicate with random strangers, i.e. the lady who might serve the groceries at the supermarket. We can check our own groceries. And another funny thing that's come up, which changes again how society communicates, is instead of giving your camera to someone to take a nice photo of you and your cobber, you just pull out your selfie stick.
True.
So this is where people are just, their society's sort of asking us, saying that we don't have to communicate with other people because we can do it all however we want to, and people are using their smartphone and they're spending all day on their smartphone saying, oh, I've been so social today.
I know.
And they haven't been social with real people, they've been social on their Facebook.
Exactly, and these apps, and I'm ignorant to all of it, but the Tinder, what's these, Grindr, what's all this about?
Oh, that's all interesting. The Tinder is the one that you might like to go for.
Well, not me, love.
Not
I'm
you, love.
but thank you very much for putting me in it.
The two names are quite similar. If you're heterosexual, Tinder's the one you're after.
Okay.
If you're homosexual, Grindr's the better one.
Oh, you wouldn't want to get them mixed up, would you?
You don't want to get them mixed up, no. So
it could be a little bit awkward.
Could be awkward.
Hence why you should meet face to face.
That's right, yeah. And face to face is definitely the way to go, because you can just have a conversation and say, yep, this is a nice person, I could meet them again and find out more. Yeah.
Okay, going into your business though is speed dating.
That's right.
So you, in a way and effectively, you very efficiently are sort of weaning out and going through, having a few more options than you would normally.
Yeah, because what happens at one of my events is I have a room full of people. So if your friend Susie comes along, I'm going to introduce her to a room full of lovely men, and Susie just has to choose the Susie-like men in the room to say these are the ones that I'd go and meet for coffee. And then if Susie can go and meet 5 men for coffee, there's still only going to be one that she wants to take out for dinner.
yeah.
And so the process of the speed dating is to say, here's a pile of men, here's the one I like, here's the ones I like, and then you take those ones and you say, here's a pile of men, here's the one I like. So it's kind of a three-step process, because you've got to A, come to the speed dating, B, choose the ones that you want, and then C, go and have the coffee.
Doesn't seem that hard though, does it?
It's not hard
Because
at
everyone's
all.
in the same boat, Jane.
Everyone's in the same boat,
Yeah.
and with my events it's nice because I do a peer group together. So you know, if you're 63, you're not going to be meeting 33-year-olds.
Could you?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just putting it out
If
there.
a 33-year-old wants to meet 63-year-olds, they can come up, but I won't let a 63-year-old go to the event where the 33-year-olds are.
Oh.
Because then they look like they look like someone who's
Like a
inappropriate.
prickle. They look like a prickle in the bush of love.
That's
don't
right.
they?
That's right.
But it could be the ladies as well. There's a few cougars out there, love.
There is, and it's
they
really.
want to trade down
I do
or
have
up
to
or-
say, it's very funny at my dating events, because at all of my 50-plus age groups,
Yep.
the men are looking for younger women, and the women are looking for younger men. So it's quite funny, because as long as no one finds out their ages, they should be okay.
Oh my goodness. That's a good question. Should you ask age?
Not initially, no. No, you can find that out as you get to know them. Work out whether you like someone or not and spend some time with them before you worry about the nitty-gritty. Because when you ask those big fat criteria questions, you're scaring the other person anyway. So just keep that in the background. Just say, hey, is this a nice person that I could spend some time with? And spend some time with them. Don't worry about what crops up along the way, because it's that one funny thing, and it's advice I always give to people. If you've got a list of 100 things you want in a partner, the first 3 things that will come out are their faults. And so you can immediately say, no, not my cup of tea. But the problem is, if they've got 97% of the things you're looking for, don't discard them on the 3 things that drive you mad initially.
Hell no.
Because over time, as you get to know the 97% of wonderfulness, those 3% of things just become things where you say, oh, that's just one of his little faults. I love him. Or her.
Or her.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. That's a great tip. So on your website, though, we've got all the information of how we can get in
That's right,
contact and
absolutely.
make connections.
That's
Like that,
right.
make connections.
Yeah.
It's all good. Okay. If we're getting back into the dating game and it's a whole different ball game than we first, we met a partner at the pub, or
That's
I
right.
don't know, with Aunt Flossie, it was the
right.
gardener. I don't know where I got that name from, but anyway. She was Aunt Flossie somewhere. I'm sure she's lovely. What do we do? One quick tip before we hit the dating market.
You have to leave the house, full stop. So if you're going to go and try internet dating, which lots of people do, it is the modern age, you just have to have a strategy to make sure that you're not wasting 3 months of your life chatting to this person who looks like George Clooney in your mind, or Pamela Anderson.
Clooney or Clooney?
Clooney.
Not Clooney.
But you need to get out there and
Okay.
you need to meet them face to face, and you need to see if there's going to be a connection of saying, I like this person and I would have them on my arm as I walk down the street.
Good on you, Jane. High five, sister.
Thank you, my dear.
You're telling it as it is. Keeping it real with Jane. After the break, Diane Ramsey is here with some luggage, not baggage, some luggage for you to have a look at.
Smile, smile, smile. Don't let your joy and laughter hear the snake. Smile, boys.
My Diane.
Well, she's not your Diane, she's actually our Diane here on Canterbury Live. This is pretty cool. There is probably an amazing amount of holiday memories, maybe good and bad, sitting in front of us, really.
Yes, there are. When you said travel and suitcases, I'm sure sometimes people wonder where the hang I keep all this stuff in the shop. It is chocker.
I bet it's chocker.
4 rooms chocker. Now we're going to start with the lovely old leather suitcase. This is in very shabby condition.
Can you pull it? Can you reach it, sweetie? We'll just try to reach out there and make life easier
and
for
of
Georgie
course,
Porgy.
it's solid bullock hide. It's in a very bad way, really.
Hide.
Well, that's what they always advertise, it bullock hide, which is just the whole thick hide of a cow, I guess. And when you bought that, that was made to last your lifetime and then get passed on to the next. And people love them for display. So they go up on top of an old wardrobe, or they go in a shop window or something like that. Even the handle is leather, thick leather. And then, of course, they progress to man-made materials, and we get lovely strong fibre suitcases like this. We're not talking about trunks. I couldn't lug in any trunks.
That's okay. You can be forgiven. You've got lots of other
That's a lovely fibre suitcase, and some of the nicest ones were made in New Zealand after the war by returned servicemen. Oh, right. And I was looking it up, and the Red Cross set up these rehabilitation workshops for injured men, and they have the lovely label inside with sort of crossed rifles and saying Returned Services Workshop.
Isn't that brilliant? Just to get them back and being nimble and using their hands and
I don't know, but they were beautifully made, and of course everybody had that sort of suitcase. This is your little manuscript case or music case, which we all had if we went to music, or I'm not sure what manuscripts you'd have in there though. And this was be typical of a little school case. I had one almost exactly like that in the 50s. And sometimes they were made in England. The fittings were made in England very often.
But look how well they're made, though. That's the thing, Diane.
Oh, the corners are reinforced. Yes, it's a darling, and people love these little cases. Even some girls use them as handbags, particularly something like that.
Well, this one here looks like Paddington Bear would have.
Yes.
With his marmalade.
I know, isn't it beautifully made? Absolutely beautiful.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
And a lot of people use those for storing stuff. But then, when people started, the ordinary person started to fly, they had to move to something like this. And New Zealand invented that, well, made these. And that is the actual flight luggage, the flight brand. And they were
just hold it there. Yeah, that's great. That's neat.
And so popular. I bet half the people watching have still got these.
I'm pretty sure Mum and Dad probably have got a couple of those in their wardrobe, but that is in really good nick.
Yes, they often were. Well, how many times did they go away?
No, I mean,
no.
Well, they didn't travel much.
Didn't travel much. And they had their little locks, which were useless, of course. And this is a flight one. Mm. And because it was unusual for ordinary people to travel earlier.
Yeah.
Once they did, they bought their labels to show where they'd been because they were very proud of it. But this
so you're
is
showing off a little bit through your luggage about, well, I've been there, I've
why
been
not? And this one is an expanding suitcase. So you put all your stuff in and fill it up, and then you push that down. Hang on, I'll try and get the mechanism. And it won the New Zealand Design Award and is in the Architect's Journal for 1971.
1971?
Not this particular case.
No, but for the designing.
But this mechanism. So when you do it up, these pull down and you do it up. I'm very cack-handed when I'm here.
Oh, of course, yeah. You've got a camera on you. It's not the most easiest thing
and then that compresses down to close off your luggage.
Oh, we like that.
And it says Dalgety Travel, and that was the sort of thing that they gave you when you flew on Air New Zealand. You got it for nothing.
Really?
They don't.
Oh, that's pretty cool, isn't it? So you'd book your flights and then you'd get like a free carry-on bag.
That probably went on into the 90s, but no more.
No.
Notice it's got the metal zip, that's how old it is.
Yeah.
But kids who are going overseas on their OE still absolutely love to have Air New Zealand
and
bag.
We've got a duffel bag.
Duffel bag.
Which is quite cool.
Which you wouldn't use for travel. You'd nonchalantly put that over your shoulder before the wonderful backpacks came in.
Oh, it's very stylish, and the good old makeup bag, the beauty bag, and you could carry that onto the plane then.
Oh my dear, if you're so inclined.
Love it.
All the makeup I've had for the last 30 years wouldn't fill that.
Hey, I love this down memory lane. Very cool indeed. I'm just so impressed at as far as how long they've lasted, really.
Yes.
After those years. 1971, award-winning design. Pretty cool. And it's right here in good old New Zealand.
Definitely.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank
we'll see you next week.
Lovely to be here.
Yes, cool. On Monday, very exciting day. Bonita Danger Doll will be here performing. She'll be serenading us. And it's the Akaroa French Festival coming up. So a little bit of French is happening in the studio on Monday. So au revoir. Have a fantastic Wednesday. We'll see you Monday.